Hello, good evening, everyone. I really want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to jump on and have a really open and authentic conversation about peptides. But before we go any further, I want to make sure that you also understand that there's no medical advice being given here. This is for educational purposes only, and really just wanting to have an open conversation. So, again, no medical advice here. If you have medical advice, you need to go to your doctor for that. But before I go any further, I just want to start with a very simple question that many people have when they first hear this topic, like, what exactly is a peptide? Well, peptides are short chains of amino acids, the same building blocks that make up proteins in our bodies. But instead of forming large structures like proteins, peptides act more like biological messengers. They tell cells what to do. They help regulate things like metabolism, inflammation, tissue repair, hormone signaling, sleep cycles, and immune function. Your body already produces thousands and thousands of peptides naturally. They're part of a communication system that allows your cells to coordinate and function properly. Over time, though, because of aging, stress, inflammation, illness, or environmental factors, those signaling pathways can become less efficient. That's where therapeutic peptides come in. They help restore or enhance communication within the body's existing systems. Peptides are not magic, they are messengers. They don't override biology, they optimize signaling within biology. And when signaling improves, function improves. And as we continue tonight, I encourage you to stay curious and get active in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking, what questions or comments or experiences you've had. This isn't about quick fixes. It's not about hype. It's about education, empowerment, and offering tools that help people feel better in our own bodies. And for those of you that haven't met me yet, I'm a pediatric neuropsychologist. I'm 61. I live with MS. And about 9 years ago, I made a decision to fully own my health. At that time, I was 80 pounds heavier. I was exhausted. I was pouring into my patients and families every day, but physically, I just didn't feel aligned with the life I wanted to live. So I began a health journey. I lost those 80 pounds. And more importantly, I've kept them off. But for the past 6 years, I've also trained for triathlons, not because I'm trying to prove anything, but because movement makes me feel strong, capable, and alive. But even with that discipline, even with the training, even with my nutrition dialed really in, I still had these limits with my energy and my recovery, my sleep, my cognition, my muscle growth. And as someone with MS, those things matter deeply. And I'll be honest, I was a skeptic about one of the peptides, the GLPs, that we'll talk about a lot as well as we go through this. But I was a skeptic for a really long time. I thought they were an easy button, a shortcut, and a crutch. But if any of you know me, I'm a research geek. So instead of staying skeptical, I dove into the literature and I studied the mechanisms. I looked at inflammation pathways, neuroprotection, mitochondrial function, metabolic flexibility. And what I discovered completely shifted my perspective. Because these PEPs aren't just about weight loss, they impact brain health, inflammation, energy regulation, and recovery. They don't replace lifestyle. They enhance what lifestyle makes possible. So about 7 months ago, I started microdosing with the GLP1, GIP-B12, and I added in a little bit of NAD+. And most recently, I also was injured with skiing, so I added in another peptide called BPC-157, TB500. We'll talk more about all these as we kind of go on too, but you'll hear about all these different peptides. The changes for me have been dramatic. My sleep improved, my cognition sharpened, my mood stabilized, my workouts became stronger, my recovery accelerated, my energy became steady instead of unpredictable. And for someone living with MS, that is not small, it's transformative. But I really also want to talk about where my heart comes in, because for my entire career, my heart has been with busy parents, especially parents of children with special needs. And I sit with families every day who are exhausted, parents who are juggling therapy, IEP meetings, medical appointments, work and home, parents who put themselves last, parents who are running on fumes. And honestly, busy parents in general are in that same boat. They're depleted, they're inflamed, they're sleep deprived, they're overwhelmed. Wonder if any of you can relate to that, right? And you don't need a shortcut. Y'all need support. So what excites me about PEPs is that they provide foundational physiological support, better energy regulation, better sleep architecture, improved recovery, so people can actually implement the lifestyle changes that they're trying to do. Because even if you go on a GLP or any other of these peptides, you still have to build muscle, you still have to move, you still have to nourish your body, and you still have to prioritize sleep. Those are all the lifestyle things we still need to do. But peptides amplify our efforts, they don't replace it. And traditional medicine absolutely has its place. We need it for emergencies, acute care, life saving interventions. But I truly, truly believe peptides are part of the future of proactive, root cause regenerative health, not just managing symptoms any longer, but supporting our signaling pathways, optimizing cellular communication, enhancing resilience, and promoting longevity. Again, this isn't about quick fixes, it's not about hype. It really is about education, empowerment, and offering tools that help people feel better in their own bodies. At 61 with MS, training for triathlons, and I don't say that to impress anyone. I say it because I want every overwhelmed parent, every exhausted professional, every person who feels like they're running on empty to know feeling better is absolutely possible. And when you feel better, we just show up better for our families, for our work, and for our purpose. And I'm just really grateful for Tanya to help us get this started. So just let's stay curious. Let's know your thoughts. Put them in the chat. No questions are a dumb question. We may not know the answer to all of your questions, but I tell you what, if we don't, we will research the topic and we'll answer it in next week's right here as well. So I'm going to turn it back over to Tanya to kind of tell us a little bit more, Tanya, about what we're all about.
All right, Brenda, I love it when you open. That was great. Your story is amazing. I'm Tanya Candy. Social media, I go by Nurse Tanya. I was just like Brenda, kind of one of those skeptics, but ready to try something new, having my own metabolic issues. And we've got my good friend Jen here. Jen, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Jen Worsland, and I was the same as Tanya. I was a huge skeptic, and I was very vocal about it. That I would never ever do GLP-1. Just you don't know what you don't know is what I always say, or you only know what you know. And after my oncology naturopath got a hold of me and was basically put it just straight to me that I needed to start it because my inflammation was going through the roof, and it's detrimental on your health when you have high inflammation markers. It's horrible for your cellular health, everything. And so that's when I really started researching. I was like, well, if my naturopath is recommending this, I better take a look into this. And remember seeing Tanya was posting about the same company my naturopath had recommended me go through. And I'm glad I did. I mean, it's not just about losing weight. It's been about getting the inflammation off my body, how I'm feeling. I mean, I am really tired right now. I'm not going to lie. I had 2 back-to-back trips, and I don't recommend that for anyone. Literally been home 2 days in the last 2 weeks, but
Isn't that awesome though? Jen, could you have done that before you started this journey? Would you even considered it?
no, no, there's no way. I had a picture. I should post. I'm going to post this picture that popped up. I think it was last year, the year before on St. Patty's Day, and my face was bright red. Just when you have all of that going on, your body is just in this inflammatory response. I mean, I look back at pictures and I'm like, I was sick for so long. And I can honestly say I'm going to be 50 this year, and I'm like, bring it on. Whereas when I turned 30, I was dreading turning 30. And that was the year I had to have my back surgery and stuff. I feel better at almost 50 years old than I did at 30. And I'm not saying it's for everyone, but it's really helped me heal my body. It's not a quick fix. You have to combine it with exercise, healthy eating, all the things. So anyone that is interested in peptides, I always have a phone call with them first, go over, different lifestyle habits, try and work with them. I mean, food is a major thing with obesity, with our bodies, with our health. I thought I was doing really good. I thought I was eating pretty clean until I really went down the road of the seed oils and just things that I've learned along the way. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Forever learning. So we do have some people joining us. I am just really, really excited. We didn't know, everybody, we didn't know if this would work. This is our first stream. We did start a private Facebook group. It is called GLP1 Roundtable. And it is kind of gatekept because we all know that Meta does not like those initials. They don't like the word, they don't like the peptide. So, why we are gatekeeping so hard is because we need to have a backup plan in place. If and when the group goes down, we will email you with plan B. And also, the replays for these conversations, we will be on that website that is given in the group as well. So, I mean, can you believe, ladies? Let's talk about the controversy. Like, what in the world? I get it. Obviously, there are dangerous things out there. We know that dosing is real. We know that this is not always done correctly. We have had the honor, the privilege of having functional doctors and not answering to insurance companies that only pay for certain things at certain doses and when done a certain way. So there's that, but it just gets more and more controversial. It's like it's like being Democrat or Republican anymore. You're either for GLP-1s or you're against it. So we got this roundtable going so we could have real conversations. I hope tonight that we get some people in the comments. Like Brenda said when we opened, this is absolutely not a place for medical advice. We are just sharing our experiences about GLP-1s, our stage of life, and other peptides as well. So we invite you in to the conversation. I know a lot of people are not used to live streaming on Facebook. Like TikTok would be a different thing. Like our comments would be lit up. We would have hundreds and hundreds of people on with us right now. So our audience is just getting warmed up to this. So come on, everybody. Come on in, get in the comments. Now, StreamYard, I got props to StreamYard. It is allowing each one of us to put this on our page. So that is really cool. The replay will live there. And from my guess is that Jen is only going to see the comments that come from her page. Brenda's only going to see the comments that come from her on her side, but I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. So my heart is that we can all share our stories. And if we get somebody who wants to come on the interview, that's one of the questions when you sign up on the group is, would you like to be with us on the roundtable? Would you like an interview? Now, we're going to, if you're opposing it, we're not looking to get in a heated fight with anybody, but we're going to talk about all perspectives. We're going to be real. And we're going to talk about side effects. Can people have side effects? Yes. You can have side effects for anything. And the way I often talk about that is nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. Yes, there is something going on in your body that's different, right? Definitely different. But what was going on before? One, I always say, my case, in pretty much anybody's case, when your body won't let go of fat, you're too fat, there's something up with your liver, some fatty liver, some toxicity, your body likes to store toxins in your fat cells. So from my perspective, who like that's my area is detox and parasite stuff. What I hear the body saying when it's all of a sudden sick is you're detoxing. When that fat starts to let go of those toxins, your liver put it there in the first place because it was not able to properly process them. So is that a big key? I don't know. That's what I think. What do you ladies think?
I 100% agree. I mean, you know all about my liver. My liver enzymes were high even before I started my cancer treatments, and then that really bogged my liver down. They actually thought something else was going on. I had to go in and get an MRCP exam, I think it was called, like an MRI of my liver, pancreas, all of that stuff. And I started drinking this crazy tea concoction. Seemed to help a little bit, but it wasn't until I started the glutathione that everything just kind of started releasing and my skin cleared up. That was one thing. Like my skin was really, really bad there for a while. And everyone's been commenting, oh my gosh, your skin, it's so bright, it's so clear. And I 100% think it's from the glutathione has helped me tremendously. All my labs now are back to normal. I had anemia for a long time, even before I started cancer treatments. Looking back at my labs, I was like, wow, no one ever said anything that I was anemic. That's crazy. And that's all better. I mean, I've not ever had perfect labs, and I have perfect labs now. So, it's not just the GLP-1, it's, glutathione. I was doing a lot of other peptides too. Now I've dialed it back to basics. I'm just doing the microdosing and the glutathione and the thymosin alpha 1 because I have the Hashimoto's as well. So there's a lot of other stuff going on with our bodies when, once things start happening. I mean, I just had one thing after another, and I really had to just stop and be like, what's going on here? My body is telling me you need to wake up and take care of yourself. And it's kind of funny that it's St. Patty's Day and I'm not out having green beer. What am I having? I'm at home having tea. So, how our lives change, and you can't take it for granted is all I can say.
Yeah, that is so true. So I don't know why I don't order the glutathione. I never think of it until I hear you say that.
Oh,
And so I did just get my Mott C in the new water bottle. That is
yeah.
super fun. I mean, how brilliant was that? So Brenda, I want to know if you've used the glutathione, and I want to know, Jen, is it as hot as they say?
Oh yeah, you have to do it slow.
Yes.
When I did my first injection, I think I sent you a picture. I was like, what just happened? I had this like big old bump and it was all red. Yeah, you have to do that one slow on, and you do mine anyway. You do 50 units on each side of your abdomen, and I do the injection. I did a ton of research. The oral, I've learned it. It's more effective doing the injection. It gets into your body systemically. So.
Yeah. Have you done them, Brenda? The
the glutathione. Yeah. And it also helps if you take out and, bring up, get your syringe ready and then let it sit a little bit and get at room temperature. That makes a big difference. Yeah. And then it is one that you definitely want to do slowly.
Yeah. So now the nurse and me, with my IV company, we did IV glutathione. And of course, the education there was that they didn't think that it did very well when you did it IM. So Jen, you would disagree because you can feel that it does work.
I 100% feel. I wish I could pull my picture up from like when I pulled my passport out to my picture from when I was in Florida in November. And even now, it's night and day with my face, my skin, even when I was going through my treatments and stuff. I can tell a huge difference with it. And it definitely helps you detox. I mean,
You and I both have the MTHFR issue. Do you, Brenda? Do you know? Have
I
you ever
do
done?
not.
You
I do
don't.
not.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jen and I have that in common. So I need to order that. I don't I really I truly forget. So how about then I know it is prescribed to us and it is prescribed sub-Q, but I do think it would probably do better IM. Have you ever gone deeper?
I have not.
I have
Yeah.
not.
And I think a lot of times that not everybody's gonna have enough balls to give themselves an IM shot. Like
Is that what
sub-Q,
the testosterone shot is? Is that
yeah,
I?
you're gonna have a longer needle and it's gonna
Okay.
go into the muscle.
Yeah,
I
no.
knew that when I first got MS, there was only 3 medications out there. They were all injectables. And one was where I had to do into my thigh every time. And eventually I just, to be honest, I could not do it any longer. Thank goodness they've come out with a lot of different ones now that we can use. But
I've
it
watched
is,
my husband do the testosterone shot and I almost throw up. There's no way I could do that to myself.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So everybody listening, when nurse language, I just throw that out. IM means intermuscular. So it's going to be a longer needle and it's going to get down into the muscle. So like if you get a flu shot or a vaccine, or if anybody's had the joyful experience of having an antibiotic shot in the back of the derriere, that is definitely an IM experience. So yeah, it's mentally is way harder for people to do. So yeah, I've considered that. The nurse in me makes me feel like I've had bad habits in my history, but I haven't. Like I can draw my own blood if I have a butterfly, and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not sure. And again, that would be completely off the rail, not advised by my LEMD doctor. That would be me taking my own whatever I want to do into my hands, which is how I roll.
that's how
I
I
think one of the things that we really need to mention in this though is that, there are a lot of different things, a lot of places that are selling peptides. But most of the places out there are not medically monitored. They don't come from 503A pharmacies. They're not double checked. You have no idea what you're putting in your body. And I would just encourage everyone that's listening that if you do decide to look at peptides or you're using them now, you need to know where they come from. And you need to make sure they're medically monitored and that you're getting what you're wanting to get in your body, because otherwise they can be completely dangerous. You have no idea what you're putting in your body.
exactly. And
Especially
the big
now
thing
when
is
it's popping up everywhere.
the big thing is the health assessment, because like I'm only a year out from treatment for my cancer, not even a year. And there's a lot of peptides I can't take because of that. And I would have not known that, because which one was it? Oh, the iptacopan.
Yeah.
Really wanted to test that one out. And it wasn't just because of my cancer history. It was also because of I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So it was a combo of those two. And I had no idea. So I had to go and research that even more. And so I'm thankful for our doctors, like keeping an eye out on different things like that for us. Brenda, can I ask you something? Are you taking any peptides specifically for your MS? Because I have a lot of friends that, for some reason, a lot of people I know in the last year have they have MS, and I don't know what's going on. But are you taking anything specifically?
It's the GLP microdosing. It's bringing down that inflammation.
Inflammation. Okay. Okay.
Yep, that's the biggest thing. And I also appreciate that they're medically monitored, because I had to go to my neurologist. Of course you could lie when you fill out that medical thing, but then you're only harming yourself and taking a risk for yourself. So if you answer it honestly and you have some conditions, like, because I take medications that makes me immunosuppressant, right? And so it brings down my immune system.
Yeah.
And so for many of them, besides the GLP, everything else that I have used, I've had to get permission from my neurologist. So I've had to get medical clearance from my neurologist that then goes to the medical doctor that then prescribes these. And I appreciated that, because I don't want to have to know all of those combinations and what works with what and all that either. So
Exactly.
that is something that I really appreciate versus I could have gone online and got stuff that maybe wouldn't, in fact, could have been harmful for me.
Oh no, you can go and order stuff because there is somebody that I know here in Billings that is ordering it, mixing it at her house, and she's selling it to people, which is 100% illegal,
Yeah.
and you can end up in jail for doing that. But there's no medical oversight,
Right.
so some of the people have medical conditions that I know they shouldn't be taking certain things, and it's like
And
you can't gamble with your health.
is that the person who got so many people sick that you were telling me about?
Hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
scary. It's very
So
scary.
exactly, and putting people's health at risk. I mean,
Mhm.
for a dollar here or there, it's just crazy to me. So yeah, I greatly appreciate all of the medical staff that we have looking out for our safety. And there's a lot of medications people are on that could interact with different
Mhm.
peptides.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to try the Semarelin and they said, I don't think so. And I wanted to be conscious of it. Like I've got the Hashimoto's, but
Mhm.
my labs have never been out of range, my thyroid labs, but I did put that I had low thyroid on the questionnaire. And so I was denied the Semarelin. Um, Brenda, do you do the alpha? No, what is it, Jen? How do you call the
thymosin alpha
thymosin?
1.
Yeah, thymosin alpha 1.
I have not tried that one yet. So, I mean, I'm doing the other ones right now and then kind of looking at anything else down the road. But I also want to make sure that I don't like just do everything all at once so that I can do one at a time to see what I get. And then if I look at adding something else, then I add it and see. Because otherwise, you don't know which's doing what or those kind of things as well. So, really being cautious of those things and just doing one kind of at a time. And then if I need, like I just added the BPC 157 TB 500, which is for muscle repair, tendon repair, those kind of things, because I was just injured doing a stupid little skiing thing. And I have a bike race coming up here in a week and a half. And so I really needed to recover from that. And so I again checked with my neurologist. He said, yeah, that would be a great thing to do. And it's been like my recovery is amazing. The doctor was like, I don't know how you're like already recovered. And I'm like, well, let me tell you.
Did you do
And
the
stuff. So it
injection
really,
then?
it's what's that?
Did you do the injection?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. My husband, he hurt his knee, his non-operated on knee, and he started the BPC 157. We went in to see the surgeon, what was it, like maybe 3 weeks ago? And he's like, well, my knee that I didn't have operated on, or my knee that I had operated on feels worse now than the injured one. So canceled surgery. Gonna get another MRI here in another 2 months now, probably, to see where it's at and just see, what we're gonna do. But he's like, I'm not gonna have surgery. I have no pain now. I have another friend. As we get into menopause, frozen shoulder is so common, and she started taking it specifically for frozen shoulder. And she called me and she's like, would it be normal for it to be feeling better within one day? And I'm like, well, and this was before my husband took her, even I had tried it. And I was like, I'm not sure. Maybe. I mean, if that's the only thing that you've done, then yeah. So I think it's amazing. I mean, it does do a lot of
That
good.
is like
Everyone's gonna, have different experiences as well. And again,
Exactly.
we don't, diagnose, treat, or cure anything,
right.
especially here on this Zoom that
Yep.
or this,
Yeah.
what do
That's
we call
one of
this?
my favorite
Roundtable.
stories is a high school like classmate of mine. He literally, when he was young and in his crazy days, got struck by a vehicle while he was a pedestrian and broke his neck, was in the halo, and then lived hard, partied hard in the oil field, and has really cleaned up his life. Like, really, kind of, sugar is the one drug that he's really having a problem with yet, and still, even pretty well has that under control. But he decided he was going to give the BCP 157 a try, And he gets it, and he messaged me the next day. And he's like, "Is this placebo? Like, could this really be working like this?" And then I was nervous. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, how much of it did he take?" Right? So I get him on the phone. I'm like, "Let's review the directions." And he hadn't taken too much. He'd barely taken enough. So, like, I think he took like 2 units instead of 20 or whatever it was. And he was debating having double knee surgery. That was his main issue. But he's like, "I haven't been able to carry my laundry basket up and down the stairs without holding the side rails for a long time." He's like, "This is 2 days in, and I'm going up and down the stairs without needing the rails." And like, that's a big deal. And then he didn't even think about his hands. And he's just like, my hands are opened up again. He's been a pipe twister, forever. And he's like, my hands have been opened up. And my other really part of this really fun with my peptide story is I'd go to convention and there was oral peptide distributors there, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is another thing I should probably learn," but I just I don't have time for it. But in my store, which is right in the oil field, I would have men coming in. "Well, I watched Joe Rogan. Do you have this BCP 157?" Or, "I watched Joe Rogan. Do you have NeuroGum? When are you gonna get some peptides?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'll get it on my radar. I'll start looking." So everybody really thinks, yes, the GLP-1 is the bulk of what we do, is the bulk of what everybody's talking about, but it's these other things that really got them on my radar. And I was like, okay. And then when I look into the price, I'm like, what the hell? People are willing to pay this kind of money for this stuff? And then even the oral ones that I could get at retail that were more medical grade, but oral, I was like, I can't afford to stock this stuff. Are you like, no, guys, sorry. You're going to have to find somewhere else to get it because that's ridiculous. I can't afford the inventory. So again, for me, when our company came along, I'm like, oh yes, affiliate, yes, I can be an affiliate. I don't have to stock this. My clients get what they want. Like, mwah, this is going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and I think it's amazing for like naturopaths, chiropractors, because we have so many different medical personnel that are now using LEMD because it takes the liability off of them. And, and they can just take care of the patient. They can still do their own health assessment, but LEMD doctors do their own health assessment as well. The good thing about our BPC 157 is that it's not research grade. It does not say anywhere on it, not for human use. I haven't found any other place that has it where it is for
especially the injectable.
Yeah, no, I haven't either, Jen. Yeah. And the thing is with that, you don't have to use that all the time. So if you have a niggle or something going on, you use it to heal that, and then you don't have to take it,
Exactly.
So I'm taking it for one more week, just all the way up to my race, and then I'm not, unless I get an injury there or something.
Yeah, until you're having too much fun the next time, and then you'll get another round. Yeah.
There's an orthopedic surgeon here in Billings that is actually prescribing it now for his patients after surgery. Because of the healing properties with it. Yeah. I mean, it is, I like that some of the doctors are starting to come around and be open to it.
Instead of just throwing opioids at everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. And like, after I do so bad with pain medications, they make
me can't do them at all.
Oh my gosh. I end up getting so nauseous and almost throwing up. So after almost every one of my surgeries, my mastectomy, I did have to take them because I'm not going to lie, that one kind of did me in. But I think I was off of them within a week. So, and then this last surgery, I think I took 2. And then I was like, I don't even need these. Like, I'm feeling really, really good. So, but I also think as your body is healthier as well, and you don't have as much inflammation, going into surgery, that also helps. So it's just all about, I feel like it's about healing our body from the inside out. And,
Yeah.
we just share what's worked for us. And I mean, I have haters out there, and I will keep sharing, because if it's even one person that I help, I mean, I've met people through social media. I had one lady call me today. She just didn't get very good news. And it's like, I just need to vent, and if I didn't share, she, I wouldn't be helping as many people as I am. And so
Right.
that's why I'm like, I will continue to share. There's always haters. So I just push them to the side.
Well, I was one of those, right? I was a big skeptic. I don't know that I hated on anybody, but I didn't necessarily follow them or pay any attention to any of their
Yeah.
stuff, because I really believed that it was just this easy out and all those other kind of things. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look back on my Facebook, you'll see that like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 2
Me
years
too.
ago. Yeah, but yeah, I think if you really look at the research on it and really, get curious and keep an open
Well, and
mind, that you see the difference.
why are they now approving it for heart disease,
Right.
for obstructive sleep apnea? There's so many things that they're now approving it for, because they know that it works. I had a lady that got a hold of me. She was going to order through me, and then she was like, well, I recently had a stroke and I have heart disease. And I'm like, wait a second. And so I still have access where I can pull up all the Medicare stuff. And I'm like, Medicare is covering that. Go back to your doctor. So even if someone comes to me and I know that they can get it covered through their insurance and it's going to save them money, I'll have them go that route.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I think she was at first was a little bit shocked about that, but I'm like, no, if I can save you money, I'm going to save you money.
So I still think the bad part, though, Jen, is that more than likely they're not going to take her over to a compounded pharmacy.
They're not.
And then and maybe I'm going to retell it for the audience, but I think I told Jen this story. I had a client who came in, and she, like you're saying, had insurance that was paying for it, and then sometimes they toy with people too, and they'll cover it for a few months, and then people go to pick that up and it's like $1,200, please, so there is that. But she had brought in, she really preferred, and we're gonna try it. We're gonna try saying these brand names, and I don't know, like, if the video will disappear. That is why it's gonna be on my website, Evergreen. So anyway, she had the pens from her prescriber, and she preferred the Ozempic. And then I'm like, well, so many people like the dual agonists, maybe it would be wise to try that. So she had both. And she honestly was kind of like asking for my permission to be okay with it. Like, she was so scared by the bad news, all of the bad things that are going to happen, that she was literally manifesting the bad symptoms. That's what people are like, okay, think positive. Don't take anything that you in your heart don't trust, that you don't align with. Why would you inject yourself with anything that you were in fear of these symptoms? Like, you will manifest it. Like,
Yeah.
Period. That's anyway. The rest of my story is the Ozempic pen, like dose, as an individual. And if you're going to do something different than what the directions say, that Ozempic pen, you could jailbreak it. You could use it as a syringe, and pull a lesser amount than that clickable dose out of it. But the Wegovy pen, there was no jailbreak in that thing. So you were going to trigger whatever dose it was set at. So you have no control whatsoever. Now, so compounded, when you're drawing up your own, and absolutely, we have our telehealth doctor, boom, there in one click. But me as the patient, if I'm like, whoa, I just don't think that going up in dose was a good idea. Next week, I'm taking my old dose. That is my choice. I can do that. But with like that Wegovy, like that, and it was a big dose and no control over it. Then I felt terrible, like I'm trying to see what we can do, and I accidentally shoot a whole dose out into the air. I'm like, oh my word, that was probably $300 worth of product I just shot into the air.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, don't worry, I don't like that one anyway, and I have more at home. I only paid $25 for it. But I'm like, oh my goodness. But no matter what, I think I like to have control of stuff. And I like to just pay cash and get what I want and have that control. So
That's true.
just saying, you know, but I feel really bad for people who, especially who are paying out of pocket for insurance and then not getting anything for it, you know, not getting anything in return. So, you know me, I'm like, quit paying the insurance and just get what you want. But, you know, whatever.
Well, and I've come to realize the things that insurance doesn't cover are usually the things that actually work. So the good thing with ours is that you can drop your own dose. Because yeah, the preloaded pens. I mean, I would not ever do a preloaded just because I'm like you. I want to have control over it, and with ours, since it is prescribed, you know, by a physician, you can use your HSA, your FSA, so that helps a ton. That's how I paid for mine when I first started. And I mean, now I just use my check to pay for it. But yeah, I don't like the preloaded pen stuff either. And I do know people that have gotten really, really sick when they've gone up in dose, and then they're just really sick for that whole week. And then it's like, what do? You can't back down on your dose. Right. Yeah. So I do.
Or they start them so high, and then all they're losing is muscle when they lose it so fast, you know, as well. And that is just not healthy.
No, not at all. And I like that we can add in now, even on our microdose, the glycine, because that will help with your muscle preservation. And I do really like that ours is customizable. I mean, I at first I was like, when are they going to do it for the microdose when they started doing it for the weight loss one? So I think it's awesome that they're doing it for that one now too. Because and then there's another thing I started taking that I think helps me a lot is creatine.
Oh, creatine's amazing.
I didn't even know how important it was, and I didn't have it the whole time I was gone. And I'm like, my brain is not working at all. Like, I lost my water bottle when I was in Cancun. I won't drink like plastic bottled water. I just don't drink that anymore. So I bring my water bottle with everywhere. And it was filtered water that I was drinking. I lost my stinking water bottle.
No.
And we were at this resort where, I mean, I have never come back from a vacation where I lost weight. I came back 2 pounds lighter. And it was because every day I was walking 15,000 steps because this resort was so big. And then the day I lost my water bottle, I probably got 20,000 steps because I go to the room. I'm like, okay, I didn't leave it here. Then I was like, oh yeah, I stopped. I was taking pictures of those weird animals. Go back there, it was gone. Then I had to go find Lost and Found. Then they're trying to sell me a timeshare. And I'm like, I just want my water bottle. I'm not buying a timeshare. Like, where's my water bottle? Found it. But yeah, I was like, my brain was not, and it was because I have noticed a difference with the creatine and I don't know. But I also I've heard NAD is really great for brain fog and stuff like that. But I've not taken that one. When I filled out the health assessment, it said no. And so then I go and research. I'm like, why can't I take this one? It's like every time I want to try one, they're like, no. So
yeah, I have a story about the black market NAD. I had tried that injectable. And okay, so NAD too, like, let's just have a little conversation. Have either of you ladies ever done that IV?
I've not done the IV. Okay. I've just done the 3 element.
So when I did IVs, I had a company in Texas that I did standing orders with, and I only had 2 people ever do the IV NAD. And I was kind of nervous about it because I'm that kind of nurse that doesn't like it when people are uncomfortable. It makes me nervous. Like that's like hospital or clinic nursing, like having to stick GI tubes down people's noses and stuff. Like, I'm just not that kind of nurse. I just really don't like to make people uncomfortable. So I had this guy who really wanted to do it, and I'm like, okay, from what I hear, it is not very much fun, and it takes 4 hours, and I have a standing order for Benadryl and Toradol, so that it's probably not going to be any fun. And no, he wanted to do it. So I had ordered a dose for myself and my husband, but then I didn't have anybody to start my IV. So I had this guy and my husband do it at the same time. And they were miserable. And then, like, it drips slow, but then if you shut it, like, they'd get so miserable, and then if you turn it down, they'd have to go through that spurt of misery. Like, so this guy, he figured out that if he, just shut his arm a little bit, he could slow it down himself. And he was so miserable. Like, I'm like, you don't have to do this, dude. Like, like, you can quit anytime. Like, it's not required. And he's like, but I already paid for it. I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh. How come he was miserable? Like nausea or?
Yeah, it makes like your whole body hurt, like, and really nauseous, and like it's just really uncomfortable. And when I do just injectable, when I do our NAD, I get nauseous for about a half an hour, and then it's gone. So I expected that, having that just little bit of IV experience. And like my husband, he just toughed it out, and he got done like 45 minutes sooner than that other guy. And so NAD, it really affects different people differently. So that my story is, I tried some gray market injectable stuff, and I still can tell exactly where in my fat where I injected that. There's still a hard I'm like, nope, that's it. I'm not messing around with that anymore. So, and then I had a friend of mine who was doing some gray market glow stack, and she just got hard lumps every time she tried it. So like that purity, it is a thing. And then I do like how our company doesn't stack more than 2 things together. Maybe they will, but if you do have some kind of histamine reaction and you have 3 things in there, you don't know what it is. So you don't know what component that it was. So then, and I don't really think it's that much cheaper. Like, especially our nasal NAD. Did you ladies know that is 3 times stronger per squirt than anything else you can find on the market?
I did not know that.
I did not know, but there's some people that were asking me, when is that coming back? When is it coming back? Because they swear by it. That
it's here. Yep, it's back.
Yep, and that their brain fog, their energy, everything, they absolutely love it. So, I mean, I have a lot of customers that love the NAD Plus and swear by it. So,
yeah, I've used it and I love it, but I'm definitely going to try the nasal. I'm going to switch when my next thing comes out and try the nasal spray.
Yeah, I've heard it's amazing. So you have to let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Then I have to say I have, what do I have? I think I have the IPA, Tesmaroilin IPA right now, and the Thymosin Alpha, but I get inconsistent with them. Like those 5 days a week one are rough for me, and I just don't. It's super hard to get it done, and I'm not, I'm still using ones that are technically too past the date in my refrigerator. I could care less. I'm not buying that for a minute, but that is hard. That the everyday ones,
it was hard for me to get used to the Thymosin Alpha one every single day as well. I set out a needle in my bathroom or by my toothbrush, so then I remember that I need to do it. And we got a little fridge to keep in our office here because our bedroom is upstairs, and we used to keep everything down in the garage fridge. And I'm like, if we have it upstairs in the office and I keep the needle right there, then I'll remember when, after I brush my teeth, go do your shot. So
Exactly. It's just that habit stacking, stack it with,
Yes.
put it with another thing that you automatically have been doing, brushing your teeth for, and that's what I've done. And and I haven't had any problems with that. So, but
Then I
other
do it
people
for a
could.
week at a time. So I draw up all 5 and like keep them in the refrigerator in
Oh,
the little direction box. So then I just have to pluck them out of there and I
oh,
know which one's which. I do the whole week. Well, this time I did however many would fit in the prescription bottle, and then I just have them ready to go, and I don't have to do that stop, draw it up stage. So
well, that's a good idea.
that's a good idea. Why did I never think of that?
I know, learning all kinds of cool tricks right
yeah,
now.
then like in the door in my refrigerator, I just have the prescription label bottle, and it's full. And I did have to put them in like juice glasses so they wouldn't fall over.
Yeah.
So then I put them in juice glasses, and that really, because I like a pill box, I like an organizer. Otherwise, I'm just, yeah, I don't know, I don't remember.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So another one that I have added in is PT 141. And I had,
Oh,
when I was at my real estate convention, we have this group chat going. And then, of course, all the ladies are asking me about it. And some ladies weren't at our lunch with us. And so I text them, we don't have the personal massager anymore with the nasal spray. So I find a different one and I'm sending it in the group chat. And then I'm sending the link for the PG 141. And these other ladies are like, we really missed out on the lunch today. What is going on? Oh, and then I said they were asking about the vibration plate I use. And they're like, what do you use the vibration plate with? Because that was, I think, after everything else. And I'm like, but of course, like all of us are, menopause age. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you if something works for me because I didn't think I would have a libido ever again my entire life. But yeah, they were like, man, we really missed out on lunch.
oh man.
But yeah, that's been like a lifesaver for me, honestly, because I feel like I'm too young to not have any sort of libido at all. And I was
Yes.
okay,
I'll
I'm
have to
going to
give
try it.
I'll have to give it another try. I gotten the injectable, and I'm like, well, I'll just follow the directions, which is kind of unlike me. I never just follow directions, but it was just way too much. It gave me such a bad headache.
Oh, I only do half of a dose.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a third if I even, and then I chat GPT'd it, and like and it's a fluid shift is why you get such a headache from it.
You
It's
have to make sure you drink lots of water. And my husband must have got a really bad headache or something because he's the one that's like, make sure you drink lots of water. So,
yeah,
but I
not
also
enjoy that at all.
my doctor had also put me on testosterone, like the pellet with an aromatase inhibitor in there because of the bone loss that came up on my DEXA scan. And then just a lot of other things I had going on. So ended up doing the lowest dose of the testosterone pellet. And so I think it's a combo of the two, but now my testosterone's like down because, you get a surge when you get that pellet, you get this surge. And now it's down to like a normal range. But yeah, the PT 141 has worked tremendously for me. So I've been sharing it with everyone because I'm like, we're all around the same
and you
age.
just like to see them blush.
I do, yeah. And I don't know. I talk about whatever's helped me, and I don't really care.
I love it.
My kids do not like it very much. When we were having that special, my son is like, Mom, what did you just post? And I'm like, you know how many of those I just sold? So just be quiet. So yeah, everyone was I think everyone ordered just for the toy that came with it. So.
And these are your sober years. Imagine how much fun you were like when you were on the green beer.
Well, that's why I have a scar on my whole face. So we don't need to go there, I know. Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
that's awesome. Well, you ladies, can you believe it? We talked for almost an hour.
I
Hard
know,
to
that's
believe.
crazy.
Did we get any comments? I can't see,
No,
so
I don't see any
I
comments.
can't see, so I mean,
No.
I can't see if there are any or not. So I
Yeah.
figured this out and
I
knew how
would
to find
say
them.
just if anyone has any questions or anything to reach out to one of us. If
Yes.
we don't have the answer, we'll find the answer. But I mean, I'm an open book. Like,
Me too.
I mean, I'll
Me too.
talk.
And I'm a research geek, so if we don't know the answer, I will
Brenda will
research and
find
find the
it.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am
Awesome.
too. And then I go down rabbit holes with certain things, and I'm like, I need to go to bed. I can't look at this anymore. So
Brenda, have you ever done any HRT?
You know, I did it one time and it was the worst experience of my life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
was it
Yeah.
testosterone or what did you do?
It was testosterone.
See, and I've heard that, and I mean, we started at the lowest dose that we
Mhm.
can get. And my oncologist, thankfully, is on board, and he was like, "This is amazing. I didn't know they came with an aromatase inhibitor." And I'm like, "I knew you were going to be happy because I wasn't taking one before." And we ordered the pellet with it in there in case my body aromatase to, the testosterone to estrogen, so protecting it that way. But the gal that inserts them for me, she said that she hated the pellets as well. It gave her like such a bad surge, and she
Right.
felt like a teenage boy. So
You can't control it. If you don't like how you're feeling, it's like it's in there. You can't necessarily take it on out on your own. So there's I didn't like that feeling of no control either.
Oh, see, and I didn't like the first 2 weeks. I was like, when am I going to feel something? I don't even feel like anything's happening. I did notice I didn't have nearly as much pain as in my back. I don't know if it was just a coincidence. I don't know. I've just had, ever since I went through chemo, just all, because I have degenerative disc disease through my entire spine now and the arthritis and all that. And it seems to have helped. I mean, I've been sitting in this chair for what, an hour now. And usually I would have a raging headache from the arthritis in my neck, my back. I'm feeling pretty good. So, I don't know if it's from that or a combination of, getting the inflammation down. It's just a combination of, I think, everything. But yeah, some people love it and some people hate it. I'm interested to see what kind of HRT we'll be getting. So.
I do. Yeah, I am too. And that's probably the point when I'll try something. I do know whatever we bring in, it'll have to be something that you could administer yourself. So it'll either be sub-Q or troches or
the cream. Yeah.
Like topical. So that, I'm kind of like Brenda, where like, I just don't know. I guess I haven't really felt like I needed it. But then when you talk about the bone loss and, and those kind of things, then, sex drive, maybe. I definitely have been using some topical progesterone. I do like that. And gosh, if you guys have any tips, I go so back and forth with my sleep. So, and I don't know, I was sleeping good for a little while back, and now I'm back to like just being too excited to sleep or something. Or sometimes I think I get my mitochondrial energy too high, where then I'm just like, well, I don't need much sleep. And I don't know because I don't feel sleep deprived. But this last week I'm like, good gravy, just shut the show off. Like, it is just, and then I know you were doing that low dose naltrexone. I do that for my thyroid. And that stuff is, then you have, the dreams are so loud that I feel like I'm not sleeping. I feel like I'm like actively acting out these dreams.
Oh, really? See, and I don't know. I've not had any dreams with being on that. So,
oh man.
Yeah, I
use
know.
a couple patches that really help with my sleep.
And that's your LifeWave patches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking maybe when I was sleeping better, I was not taking my methylene blue. So between that and then I use core nutrients from Cellcore, which has got like all your good methylated vitamins. So I just might be over
overdoing.
charged.
Yeah.
You know, just over. I should just go back off that methylene blue for a while and see if I
You
sleep.
take your methylene blue in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's
I don't know either, but it's annoying. And like I say, I don't feel depleted. I'm just annoyed.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. It does get annoying when you can't sleep. So
Well, it impacts everything.
it does.
And then I don't really have hot flashes. I kind of did, but definitely since the GLP-1, I don't have that.
Mhm.
And have you ladies ever wore a continuous blood sugar monitor?
No.
I did. And I actually wore one when I first started the GLP-1 because so I was wearing one prior to starting the GLP-1, and my blood sugars, I would always like pair like my fruit with a protein.
Mm-hmm.
My blood sugar would go through the roof. I started microdosing the GLP-1, and it was like stable.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. And so why I started wearing one is because my hot flashes were so bad. And I must have felt like it was more from sugar spikes than anything. I mean, obviously it was the menopause too, because I got thrown into that. But once I started the GLP-1 and my blood sugar was stable, my hot flashes went away. The only time I really get them now is if I get pissed. But when I drink alcohol. It's funny, it's just my left ear turns bright red, and I'm like, I'm having a hot flash, aren't I? And then I'll like show everyone my ear, and it's bright red.
That's crazy.
The weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of mine was from the spikes of blood sugar, and then now that I don't really drink all that much, I'm good to go.
When I wore one, it was again just because I kind of like to try whatever I'm recommending, and it was years ago before GLP-1s. And I've always had a good A1C. It's always been low 5 or 4, and wearing that sensor, like during the middle of the day, I would go down to 50, or in the middle of the night, I would go down to 50. No symptoms, you know, or anything like that. But when I was getting hot flashes, that's when I was back to like, is this hormone or blood sugar? And then I got, you know how we are, we want everything as natural as we can, and you know, whatever. And I'm getting these hot flashes, and I start to think, oh my gosh, like I just have a memory foam mattress, and I've got linen sheets and, you know, organic bedding, but memory foam. And then I'm like, I'm in a toxic sauna all night long. Like, oh my God, I can't be in this toxic sauna. I'm in memory foam, and I'm literally in a sauna all night long.
Sucking all that stuff into my skin.
Yes. So I ordered an organic mattress, and that was an experience. It's a coil mattress, but it came like all air sucked, you know, and in a roll, and then you just open it up, but it's a coil mattress. I'm like, what in the world?
That's how the mattress for our spare bedroom came, and I'm like, how is this gonna work? But it does. It puffs right up.
Right back up.
Yeah, it's amazing. So
I don't know, anybody on the replay, if you're sweating all night in a toxic sauna,
get a different mattress.
Get a different mattress.
I guess when I was wearing my monitor, actually my blood sugar at night would sometimes go down to 40.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never woke up. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then I keep my phone in the living room. I don't keep it by my head. So then the first time that thing is alarming in the middle of the night, you're like, what in the world? And then sometimes too, depending on how you're sleeping, you just like interrupted the service, and it would. But
see, I would shut my alarms off at night because I have my.
It's not like you needed insulin or something. So
yeah, we put our phones in our walk-in closet, and I put mine on like airplane mode or whatever. I just there's a lot of things that I've changed about my life.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
It's all lifestyle stuff that makes a difference.
It is. We even have grounding sheets and, you know, all the things. So
well, girls, we better save something for next week. So let's kind of we'll wrap it up, and I want to extend an invitation. So if you're here on the replay, especially if you got all the way to the end, we love you and we appreciate you. We do have a private Facebook group, and we will be housing the replays in there as long as it stays meta compliant, or the replays will be on my website. There is some gatekeeping. You do have to register. We're taking this pretty seriously. We're building a community. If you'd like to come live with us on camera, we would love to have you. Whatever side you're on, if you've got a story you'd like to tell, we'd like to help you tell it. We'd like to have a conversation with you. This is real conversations, no medical advice whatsoever, no prescriptions being sold here. But if you are interested, reach out to whoever it is that you have connected with. Thank you and have a great evening.
All right.
Bye.